Hi, everyone. Hope you're well. My name is Erika Ludwig, and I'm the PR and marketing manager at Voice One. I'm also a voice actor. Actors, we have a special treat and announcement today. Here with me, I have Marvin Greene. He's an instructor at Voice One. He's been performing as an actor and a musician in the Bay Area since 1987. He's worked extensively in theater, voiceover, television commercials, and over the past 20 years, he's taught acting at ACT, Berkeley Rep, and other schools like Voice One. Marvin, thank you for taking the time to speak with us today. There's something brewing. It's new,
Hmm.
and I'd love to talk to you about it.
Great.
You're hosting a Monday night acting class at Voice One. Is that right?
That's correct.
Very cool. I would
And
love
yeah, go ahead.
I would love to ask you some questions about it.
Sure.
Maybe about how acting and voice actors can use acting to strengthen their craft by leaning into acting as a whole.
Hmm.
Um, are you down?
Well, in the old days when I was coming up, every actor, and including especially voice actors, started in the theater. It was the training ground because voice acting, as you know, is acting. And as a matter of fact, it's one of the most difficult and challenging types of acting that there is. Um, the chance of working on yourself as a whole instrument, as an actor in total, pays huge dividends, especially when you have then the fact of your body and your face taken out of the equation and it's just your voice. The tools that you learn are invaluable.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Um, so with that, I would love to ask what in studying the craft, what happens when an actor studies regularly versus single workshops?
Well, to some extent, that depends on the actor, of course.
Hmm.
And my simple answer would be that when you take a workshop, you are learning about something. When you study on a regular basis, you're actually incorporating that training so that the knowledge goes from here to here. And you, in a sense, become the technique. Now, that said, I wouldn't knock workshops because I teach lots of them and they can be very valuable. And the same process of growth can happen in a workshop. It's just imagine if you were an athlete and you trained for 3 weeks and then said, okay, I'm ready. No, you're always training. You're in the gym, you're in the weight room, you're running on a field, you're studying your other players, you're working constantly.
Yeah, that absolutely makes sense because it's repetition, it's that muscle memory. It really sticks and resonates. Okay.
Yeah, and it's also this is a performance art, which means it has nothing to do with knowledge. It has to do with the ability to actually own it.
Okay. Thank you. Um, what are some of your favorite breakthroughs that you've seen in actors?
Well, I mean, I think they all have a similar quality, which is the surprise that there's another way of doing something. I don't know about you, but for myself as an actor, most of the time when I get in trouble, it's because I can't see out of the box I'm in. I can only imagine myself doing this script in a certain way. And so I think all breakthroughs have this surprise of the student just, oh, oh, I never thought to look in that direction. So it's usually about a question, asking the right question.
That really, really resonates with me personally because as a voice actor, being in my booth all day, just being in, well, mine is very dark, as you can see, especially when I take classes with other actors. It's very inspiring to see what other people are doing and the breakthroughs that they come through because you have to be really imaginative and creative, and you do have to have that creative mindset, and you have to be able to act and put yourself in these mindsets, these locations. You have to create these characters, become these characters, right?
Hmm.
So, yeah, those
Yeah, and
seeing
we
those
all we
breakthroughs.
we all have patterns that we fall into because it makes communication easier. But in most cases, demanding material is asking you to break a pattern. And that can be difficult because sometimes we're not even aware of what our patterns are. And that can lead to another aspect of a long-term class, which is a little different than a workshop, which is that you keep addressing an issue until you've solved it or shifted it somehow.
That's really interesting.
And of course, it never ends because as soon as you've solved one problem, you've got another one.
In my book, that's okay, right? Because you
Well,
want to
I
keep
think
working on the
that's what
craft.
keeps us all fascinated about acting. It's a never ending journey.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like you arrive somewhere and you go, okay, I'm perfect.
Right. Yeah, there's no perfect. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
perfect is for other professions, maybe.
Yes. Okay. So now more than ever, clients are looking for authenticity. Speaking of perfect, as an actor, what does it mean to be authentic?
I love that question because I think that word is so abused. And I think most people, when they say authentic, are actually meaning the word natural.
Hmm.
And I think they're very different things. Being natural is really just responding to your impulses and doing what feels right to you at any given moment. And that's a part of acting. It's important. But there's another part. And to me, authenticity is two things. First thing is being totally present in this moment. Then the second thing is summoning what's best in you to solve the problem at hand. So every script, if it's challenging, is asking you to dig a little deeper than you've gone before. And it's asking you to bring something to the surface about yourself that may be hidden, it may be underdeveloped, it may be not your go-to. And authenticity is demanding that you come through with it. So I think some people confuse it because they think authenticity is naturalism, which is just doing whatever feels right. But imagine again, I mention sports a lot, but imagine if a basketball player went down the court and did not care if the ball went through the hoop. The
Right.
game would not be an authentic basketball game.
Right.
But the player by nature may not feel like it. You know, they may be injured, their foot may hurt, they may have knee problems, they may have had a bad night, they may have drunk too much. But the authenticity of being a basketball player involves them committing to going through the hoop, which will cause them to summon strength, courage, endurance.
Yes. I think about that, and I think about, the motivation, the intent, just the realism behind everything, and taking that into the booth. You know, what are the intentions behind everything, behind the person, behind what you're bringing into through you into the microphone, right?
Yeah, and I like that you use the word intention because it implies a choice was made.
Yes.
Uh, it's a thing that a lot of people don't say about acting, but you are choosing to act. A lot of young actors feel like it should just happen to me if I'm doing it correctly. And there are lovely moments when you're in the flow, at the same time, you're choosing to put yourself in the flow.
Yeah. This is amazing. I'm really enjoying this conversation.
Good.
Unfortunately, I only had three questions prepared.
That's, we don't want to overwhelm the listeners.
This is true, and this is also why we have a class, the
Mhm.
Monday night drop-in, um, so people can actually show up and study with you on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So,
And I will say that I'm not encouraging this as a drop-in class.
mhm,
Um, this is something I'd really want students to be committed to. There'll be the class, and I we'll figure this out as we go along. Of course, we're going to take some breaks periodically, but basically, it's going to meet every Monday, and there will be a monthly fee for the class of $250. And I'm asking students who are serious about making a commitment because this kind of a class is not going to do anybody any particular good if they just show up once.
right.
This is about a commitment, and I can understand that it may not be for everybody.
Yeah. I think that makes absolute sense. And it's going to be held at Voice One every Monday starting January 23rd. Is that
Right. And the 23rd, I'm viewing that as not as a paid class. It's more of a chance for us to meet, see who's interested, and I'm sure students will have more questions about how the class is structured, what they can expect week to week, day to day. Um, and so it would be a chance for us to meet, to see if we can get some synergy and chemistry going, and also to answer any, ongoing questions. Because I realize, to make a commitment to the class is, it's a commitment without a particular end in sight. And of course, you can leave anytime you want, but the idea is that this may be something that you continue with for a year or 2 years or however long it's helpful to you.
absolutely? Okay. Well, thank you for taking the time to speak with us today. Is there anything else you would like to say?
Uh, no, just that I look forward to seeing people on the 23rd, and please bring your questions.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you, Marvin. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, Erika. Happy New Year. Have a great rest of your day.
All right. Thank you. You too. Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye.